Hello guys, it's Every Good Name is Taken here, and welcome to my first ever tank review / Unicum guide. Please tell me in the comments which name you would like to me use in the future. Today we are going to have a look at the M18 Hellcat, which is my most played tank in the game and one of my two favorites. The other one obviously being the T-30. First of all, let me tell you what I actually will do in this series. So at the start I will compare it to its counterpart, being in this case the M36 Jackson, so I will compare the stats, how to play the tank, etc. Then I will talk a little bit about the tank myself, so my opinion about it, and that all while we are watching two videos that are running in the background at the moment. And now let's compare both tanks, being the M18 Hellcat and the M36 Jackson, in a deeper look. Gun-wise, they use pretty much the same gun. They both use a 90mm gun that has a 160mm of AP penetration and 243mm of APCR penetration. The alpha damage on both guns with AP is 225 and with APCR 190. The aim time on both tanks is 1.27 seconds, which means that you don't really have to aim when you shoot at your targets. The accuracy also allows to do that, because it's just 0.31 meters per 100 meter. But you have to consider that on the move and while turning the turret, the accuracy on the Hellcat is much better, so you can more reliably snap in your shots. The DPM on the M18 Hellcat is pretty bad though. It's not even 1900. Compare that to the M36 Jackson, this is nearly 2400, which means that the difference is roughly 600 alpha damage. And that is a huge difference. The gun depression though on both tanks is a very nice and typical for American 10 degrees, and the gun elevation is 20 degrees. When you want to compare both tanks in terms of the speed, there's a huge difference. The Hellcat is a very fast tank with its 65 km/h of top speed limit and 15 backwards, but the Jackson just has 42 km/h forward speed and a very bad 11 backwards. The horsepower per ton on the Hellcat is 25.4, which means that it accelerates really quickly and you get up to your top speed very fast as well. On the Jackson though, it's just over 16, which means that it's taking its time until it gets where it needed to be. And now let's talk about the last part of this comparison. The view range on both tanks is 253 meters, so it is enough to spot your own targets at longer distances. The HP on the Hellcat with base, so when you're not considering the HP boost, is just 850, so you can get killed pretty easily. On the Jackson it is a little bit more, which is 910, but that is probably due to the armor difference. The armor on the Hellcat, as most of you will know, is very bad. The hull is in the front, the rear and the sides just 30mm thick. The turret though in the front has 76mm, at the sides 37 and on the back 44mm. But you have to consider that I actually bounce quite often some shots when I play this tank and hold down and the enemies hit my gun mantlet, which means that this tank is actually capable of bouncing some shots. The Jackson has a little bit more armor. In the hull he has 111mm in the front, 25 in the side and 25 in the rear. The turret has in the front the same armor as the Hellcat, being 76mm, in the side again 25 and in the rear 25mm. So that means that also the Jackson is capable of bouncing some shots, but that, as well as in the Hellcat, is highly unlikely, and you should never rely on your armor. And now that we are finished with comparing both tanks, I would let you watch this replay until the end, and then I will tell you everything about how I set up this tank in terms of the ammo loadout, the equipment, the consumables. You get what I mean. And there we are at the end of the battle. It actually was very good, 3k damage, 6 kills, and that was actually played on my mobile phone. And so let's move on with my tank setup. At first I use a gun rimmer, obviously. Then an improved modules, a camouflage net because it's obviously a tank destroyer, an enhanced gunning drive to boost the aim time a little bit more HP because the armor sucks anyway, then a bit of mod reverse speed because this is what this tank needs, some more aim time, to boost the repair a little bit, and to get the cooldown of the consumables a little bit quicker. To the ammo loadout, I use 20 AP, 5 APCR, and 5 AG. In terms of the provisions, I just use a can of cola, improved fuel, and a case of cola. So twice food and the Everest. Then adrenaline, just a normal repair kit, and the multi-purpose restoration pack. And now let's move on with the first battle. On this battle I'm on port and I'm in support on how about some 152mm, which now actually recently joined my clan Nice. And we are both going to the north to support the team because, as you can see, it's highly likely that the enemy team goes there because they are mostly have fast tanks, and so I choose to play really aggressively here, but I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, especially if you haven't played the Hellcat for a long time and you have to get used to this position. Now I'm just putting some side shots into those mediums and light tanks because they're not aiming at me but at my other guys, which are actually fighting those, so I just want to support them so they don't die without having done anything. And as you can see, this gun can be pretty precise, but it's not a laser gun, so it might miss some shots. That's with every tank. And now that I'm uncontested really in this position, I'm starting to get some shots onto these TDs and heavies. And just supporting the North a little bit more against this IS and these 3 tanks he has there in support. And now the IS went down to my platoon mate. As you can see, there's not much happening. I'm just sort of camping in this position, shooting what I can shoot and trying to not get shot myself. And that's practically how you have to play the Hellcat. Play it passively, choose the right position and just support your team. Because, for example, on this map you can't really camp with a tank destroyer, so I choose this position to give my tank an opportunity to get into a crossfire, for example on these 2 heavies now, while I was finishing off the Tiger P. There goes the M10. And as you can see, the Hellcat is quite flammable, so please use a fire extinguisher, an automatic one or a restoration purpose kit, whatever feels you right. And now that the IS-2 is the last one left, just watch him die there. And that was a pretty bit quick but pretty good battle. And now to the results. We finished on 2.3k damage, got a crucial contribution, a mastery and a prowess in arms. In this battle we're playing on Dynasty Pole, but this time with a completely different guy. You might have seen him in some of my videos. It's the Panther II, who also is running a YouTube channel. If you want to check him out, I will leave a link down in my description. So what I'm doing on this map usually with my Hellcat or any other tank that is quite nimble is going into this bush and try to get some spots and if possible some shots like on the Centurion there. But as you might see on the minimap, the team is not really going towards us, so we have to defend ourselves. But this LTTB was surprisingly aggressive, so my platoon mate dies pretty quickly, which is unfortunate, but it means that I have to carry this game on my own if I want to give my team a chance to win this battle. And now that he's dead, I'm completely alone on this flank, and if you remembered correctly, there's still a sentinel on the side, and who knows if there's still someone else in support, so I have to play really cautiously. But knowing that the LTTB is a one-shot, I move in because I want to secure the kill on this high tier tank, but he's actually running away, and I meet the sentinel here. So I choose to fight him, but not in this location because I'm out in the open, so I try to get hull down somewhere and use the amazing 10 degrees of gun depression. And really you shouldn't trade any shots with this tank because you have no armor, like everything can penetrate you with HE, so choose your trades cautiously. Now that the sentinel is done for, I'm going to run into the city and use the amazing speed of this tank to get there, to support my last 2 allied tanks fighting in a 2 vs 3 situation, which the Bulldog immediately changes to a 3-on-2. And now I'm focusing on the low HP target, being the KV2, because we have to lower the numbers if we want to get through this battle. But the Tiger P thinks about ramming him and easily finishes him off. And that just leaves this Tiger 1, which is nearly on full HP now, after the Tiger P put 1 shot in. And that leaves me alone against this nearly full HP Tiger 1. And what would you do in this situation? Well, let me just show you what I did. And if you know how to play the Hellcat, you know that you have to play on distance, use your very great camera rating and your mobility just to get away from here, get some distance, maybe put some sneaky shots in. This one sadly didn't manage to go in, but I still came out without receiving any shots from him. And now to the biggest question, are you gonna deal with him? I know that the Tiger has at maximum 5.5 seconds reload, which means that I should never really trade shots with him. So I search for a position where I can safely shoot, but he can't see me, or at least he needs a while to get towards me. In this case, I was lucky that the Tiger went into the cap, so I was able to use this bush perfectly, which helps me to use my camo rating even better, because as you might know, bushes can provide you some camo value. But now that the Tiger went really close, he spotted me, but luckily I put him down to safely say a 3-shot range. And there we go with a quick shot. Now he's a possible 2-shot. But he also needs, if he chooses to shoot HE, only 2 shots to kill me. So I have to play very carefully to not lose this battle, or just throw it away because of some stupid mistakes. So I just wait and see what the Tiger does. In this case, nothing. So I pull back to try to get him out of his cover, which in this case worked, and I luckily set him on fire and finished this battle off. To the post-game results, we finished on a very nice 3.2k damage, just 2 kills but a high caliber and a mastery. And now to my last game to showcase how I'm playing the Hellcat, this time on mines, and this time with a guy I just recently met called Panther II. So, as most of you do, I choose to camp, so to say, in this spot, to try if I can sneak some shots into the mediums that are crossing towards the hill, or try to get up there, but sadly in this battle, at least in the start, no one tried to went up there, and I got a little love bump from that MT-25, even though I don't know what he's doing there. Nevertheless, now I'm just watching and waiting for some targets to pop up, because that's all you can do from this position. And nothing really interesting happens. Just some sniping shots. And now you can perfectly see the accuracy on this tank, the aim time. But the reload is quite bad actually. I mean 7.2 seconds is long for tier 7, but it's enough to put the shots in when the enemies pop out. Now as you can see, I'm trying to penetrate the KV-1S there in the turret, which most of the time works, but in this case the RNG wasn't with me, so I tried to shoot this KV-13, which actually worked out quite well. And now I'm looking for this Comet, since he bravely showed that he wants to get up that hill and is greedy for some more damage. So I luckily put one into his tank. And then I've just noticed that there are some tanks flanking us around the hill, because always keep in mind that you have to have one eye on the minimap at least to support your team at best. And since there's no way I can pen that AM6 in the front with AP, I choose to shoot the softer targets, in this case the side of the IS, which led to an easy kill for my teammate. And now there's just the M6, that Comet, which is probably not a one-shot for me, and this VK should be easily done for. And now I just load APCR, because there's no reason to waste some AP rounds into the front, because I'm never gonna get through that with 160mm. But as you remember, I always try to lower the numbers. So in a quick succession I'm gonna move around, show you again how quick this tank can be when it accelerates, and just flank them, because they flank us. So I'm gonna aim for that VK and easily snap one in, because the aim time is just really nice in this tank, as I already said. And I noticed that there's still a Comet lurking around, and there he actually is, so I easily kill him with this shot. Go into cover again, because I don't want to waste any HP against that M6 because this game is too critical to just get the enemies hit you. Just have to play really cautious here, choose APCR and into the commander hatch, which was probably useless, but I just wanted to secure the kill on that M6. And now that the AMX M4 died, it's now a 2-on-2 situation. Me and my platoon mate against the Panther IV with a very great rate of fire, and the KV-1S, which is the complete opposite. So I sadly get an HE shot by him, where you can see that HE is really the thing you have to do against this tank, but even though the KV-1S does a lot of damage, his reload is just too long, so we finish him off, and there we go. This battle is finished on 5 kills, and we carry the game. And here we ended on 3.2k damage, a Radio Walters, a tank sniper, which shows the great accuracy of this tank. And I will leave a list in the description of all the tanks I have in the garage, and please tell me which tank I should review next. And with this, see you all next time, and good luck on the battlefield.